Hello and welcome back to Roll4D4. I am your GM, Ennui. Uh, let's rewind back a little bit as we wait for our players. Last week, we explored the town of Angel Grove, and we also met Donovan, Lamar's father. Lamar's father is a bit of a wholesome guy. He wants the best for his son, and coming from the situation with his wife, whom he felt he couldn't trust, he's now watching his son get involved in a situation that looks like it might be a situation, but he knows his son is always putting people who need it first. But how is that going to affect Donovan when his son now has the responsibilities of being something super? Moving forward, V started to form a bit of a relationship with Donovan, learning a bit about house management and tools, plumber's tape, as V took it upon themselves to fix up some things around the home that they noticed were out of shape. Tyrion took apart some of Lamar's old toys and started building a secret spider. And that's definitely something that's going to come back later, especially that train. Uh, in the night, Wade asked Donovan to look up some information that could help him find his sister with the little information that he already had. And from those, our four heroes went off in their separate directions. Wade and Lamar going off to Delilah, Wade's sister's home, to learn that Delilah believes that magic is involved with the disappearance of their father, and Tyrion and Vesper heading off to the University District to make use of the library and the computers at the library, learning information of strange train tracks found in the desert that may be connected to Tyrion, and V looking for anything that they could find that may help them find their missing sibling. Forward from that, they headed to a train station looking for a power source or anything they could use to help along the progress of Tyrion's secret spider. And after each party's individual quest, a pigeon with a weird tuft of hair drops them a letter urging them to meet at Ernie's juice bar. From there, the heroes meet up again, greet each other, meet Ernie, the juice bar's owner, whom is very impressed by Mick's ability to pay for hundreds of smoothies. And after a short catch up session with Mick, we are interrupted by a strange bolt of lightning striking outside. A loud, dangerous, violent storm suddenly taking over the area of the city. And a strange man in the street, now attacking our four heroes. As they try to escape, their exit is destroyed. Vesper is the first to make an attack against the strange man, but only incurs his wrath as he now aims his blast towards her. But from the sky descends a man in red armor. Someone who knows Mick. But is this person an ally? Or just another obstacle? Let's greet our players once again before we start today's game, and let's get started with Lamar. DJ.
I just did an awkward intro to a muted microphone. Um, and same intro, DJ. Excited to be here. Lamar, not as excited to be here. Um, yeah.
Our mysterious space teenager, Vesper.
Hi, that's me. I'm Gabby. I play Vesper Salacia the Third, or V, as you'll hear them call them. And they're I wouldn't call them excited to be here, but they're kind of used to this sort of happenings.
The strange boy from the Appalachia Mountains. Wade.
It's your boy, Gage. Playing your boy, Wade, who is absolutely freaking the fuck out. No idea what's going on. And fresh out of the revelation that magic is real. And that Amazon never existed. We're just here trying to figure out what is going on.
And last but not least, the strange boy from a strange land with a strange spider in his pocket. Tyrion.
Hi, it's Aaron or Tyrion. Tyrion is wondering why he is still in the arms of Wade, but happy to be here.
Last we left off, our heroes stood in shock and horror as this strange man sends blasts of energy at them. One destroying the exit that they first originally aimed for, and the second almost grazing V with the heat and static electricity that was radiating off of it. And a strange man lands from the sky as the sound of a jet rides by overhead. And you all see a man who's going to show up in the chat in just a second. A man in red body tight armor. It looks like spandex almost. It's shiny as his red cape flows down behind him. And he holds a white gun in his hand with a red jet toy on top of it. The man turns his head to the side, his helmet becoming visible to you from behind his collar. And he asks, very frustratedly, Mick, what's going on? Mick is almost frozen in his tracks as he is trying to figure out what to do in this moment, looking between the four of you, Tyrion in Wade's arms, Vesper who is attempting to make a stand, and he's unsure of what to do as he kind of gestures broadly. You gotta get them out! I'm gonna roll an initiative for this new mysterious person. We're gonna 16. So they're going to go 4V. Oh my, we can cancel right now. And as Mick is kind of babbling to the strange red man, Tyrion, you realize you've seen this shape and heard this voice before. What's going through your mind?
Did we say me?
Yes.
Okay. What's going through my mind? Pretty much I'm trying, well, am I still in the air? Am I still being held?
In this moment, yes.
Okay.
Like a
So
baby,
mainly,
but more actually like a suitcase, if I'm being honest. Like
Okay.
I'm a lawyer or something. I kind of got you, not by the scruff, but more like right in between your shoulder blades by whatever clothes you're wearing.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so as I'm being held, I am. It's overwhelmingly that I'm trying to get down, but given that I recognize this voice, I look up to see like, why is this one here?
You want to do anything about that? You want to ask any questions, or does anyone else have anything they want to do in this moment before we move on and continue combat?
Are you asking if we can do like a little free action before we start?
Yes.
I'm gonna set Tyrion down, and I'm gonna flip the fucking
Yes,
table.
please.
Yeah. Alright, so we have a flipped table down in front of you guys. It's about waist height for most of you.
I think hearing Mick say that he wants to get them out, V is going to probably move back and follow suit towards the table.
And so everybody is getting behind this table and staying near Mick.
Yeah, hunker down and pull out my slingshot.
Alright, Lamar is preparing their slingshot.
I'm gonna yell over to Mick and be like, "Hey man, turn yourself into a bomb or something."
What would I do after that?
I don't know. Blow him up.
Get in pit, but not right now.
I can't comprehend why he can't just blow him up.
So, now moving back into combat. The first is going to be the stranger, or the strange monster. Strange creature. Which we're going to call them. Strange creature, because they're not necessarily monsters. This is a shadowy man wrapped in robes with a red aura glowing around them. And what we're also going to do is open up screen share. Battle map. Alright, so right now we're gonna call this Ernie's juice bar. Everyone is still inside actively. With the man in red and the strange creature standing outside. And they're going to go first. The two of them are sort of standing off, sizing each other up as oh wait. Why is it switching? Okay, never mind. Alright, sort of sizing each other up. The man in red lowering their white gun down to their side, looking behind him and looking at V trail off towards the others as they get behind this table. And they look back towards the creature and is going to charge directly at them. And rolling. And they are going to tackle this red man directly into the ground. And the fight begins between them as a flurry of sparks fly off the red man's chest as he is tackled to the ground. The creature rolling off of them, grabbing them by the chest of this strange latex-like armor, or strange spandex-like armor, and throwing them up into the air, firing a large blast of red energy. And it's happening so fast in front of all of you that like it's kind of hard to follow. It's similar to like watching something in CGI where like the way that people are moving is so strange and fast, it's almost unreal to see. And you see this red beam of energy, the same one that was fired at you twice, go up into the air and explode. And thinking about yourselves, that would kill anyone. And you just watched someone who was supposed to be here to help you take it full on to the body. But you see more sparks fly down as this person in red comes down to the ground, landing in a very obnoxious superhero pose, smoke beaming off their body as they enter a fighting stance and prepare to keep the action going. And next is going to be V.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Would V recognize this red man as the same red man from before?
No.
Okay.
But you do notice it's the same. It's not the same armor or the same anything, but it's like different branches of a force. You could easily assume whatever kind of thing that first one was, this person is the same kind of thing.
Okay. So, is Mick behind the tables with us?
Yes, Mick, you are all to the right of Mick. Mick is on your left. He's peeked out most from the table, so he's the most exposed.
All right. They're gonna glance over to Mick, and I don't know if this is like an action or what like speaking is, but they're just gonna look to him and be like, "You wanted us to leave, but where do we go? You do not want us to fight? Are we to just be here and die, or watch your friend die? What are we to do?" And they're gonna speak kind of like they're gonna speak just like that. They're not shaken by the scene happening.
I don't think we're gonna have a choice but to fight, but we can't fight like this. I need to get you onto the ship, and I can get us up there fast, but I can't do it indoors. We need to wait until Bandora can clear out a way for us to get outside without getting hurt.
I see, so you do not want us to be seen, is that correct? But you want us to go outside?
We need to get outside to a clear space, to a clear view of the sky, and I'm not too concerned about being seen, but we need to get outside to the sky.
Can V do a roll, or can I do a roll for V to see if they can see if there's any working electronics nearby?
Yeah, go ahead and give me no weapons.
Can I argue my specialization? Insight?
No, that's actually something I wanted to bring up to you. I think I want to keep insight for interactions with characters and creatures.
Sounds good, sounds good.
And your difficulty is a 1.
Oh. Do I still have to roll, or can I just say I get that? Difficulty is a 1. I rolled a 14.
I was gonna say, you could always roll a crit.
Oh. No, see, I got rid of all my bad rolls before we jumped into the game. I ain't rolling bad.
You say you got a 14?
Yeah.
What's your D20 and what's your skill die?
D20 is 10, my skill die is a 3 and a 1.
Okay, when you have specializations, or not specializations, but when you have more than, are you moving up a ladder, so you're only rolling the highest on that ladder.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was doing my insight roll. My bad.
And one more thing I did want to remind the players and people listening of, I want us to start calling out our dies individually, so we can start taking advantage of our critical failures and critical successes. So when we make rolls, my D20 is X, my skill die is Y, and as a reminder, a critical failure is a 1 on the D20, and a failure on the skill die, and a critical success is a success on the D20 and the highest number on your skill die. So as long as you pass and have the highest number on your skill die above a D2, that is a critical success.
My D20 is a 19 and my D6 is a 3.
Alright, cool. Alright, and your difficulty was a 1. So you're looking around for electronics. V kind of whips their head around a bit. Everything is still kind of in working order. Like the TVs that are around are still working. The arcade machines are still playing music. There's still music playing. It's just this really powerful storm going on, and the windows are broken in, and now there's the sound of ongoing battle happening. So like everything is still working. Nothing is like the only thing out of commission are the windows.
I forgot about the storm out there. That changes my idea. Yeah, so I can do another alertness roll for this. V's just gonna do the only thing they can do right now,
Mhm.
and it's just huck shit at the monster. We're gonna throw something at it.
All right. Well, what you looking to throw? There's glass all around you. There's smoothie cups. There's
Yeah, that's why I was
some
gonna
rubble
see if
from
I
the
could do like another like alertness roll to see if I can find anything that's not just a paper cup.
I'll allow you to just like determine something that's on the ground.
Is
You're
there
in
a
you're in
hefty
a juice
piece of
bar. That is,
rubble?
well, you're in a juice bar that also has like a small gym in it. So the first time you threw a dumbbell.
Yeah, I'm not risking my luck with a dumbbell again. They're not that strong unless I can argue I can use my finesse or acrobatics on that, and I don't even know how I'm gonna argue that. So yeah, yeah, they're just gonna look for like a nice bit of rubble that might have been blasted from when like the glass in the windows broke, hefty chunk of brick, and
Yes,
they're gonna give it another throw, but this time they're gonna try to like throw behind the hulking creature to try to distract it so it gets his attention away from Red Man or us. Red Man as in like the Power Ranger.
All right. So let me- let's get
You
your
can't
guy.
just say that. We don't know they're a ranger.
You know what? That's correct. I don't know if Red Man's a Power Ranger, so I don't. Is Red Man that Power Ranger? Wait, hold up. Wait, Lavender.
Yeah.
Is that Power Ranger Red Man?
Uh, I wish he didn't have a canon anything yet. I would absolutely make that something. But we can absolutely say that somewhere in this universe, on a different planet, Red Man is out there, and he is a Power Ranger.
In my defense, DJ did this.
Red Man, Afro Man are on a team together. There are several legions of rappers that are also Power Rangers. The Wu-Tang Clan are all Power Rangers.
Yes.
Of course, 1,000,000%.
In this universe, instead of MF Doom dying because his doctor fucked up, can he just like be a Power Ranger and go off into space? I'd like that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like
Make that
I
canon.
Whenever he wasn't allowed to come back to the U.S. instead of going to the U.K., he went to space.
Can I throw this thing as a distraction, Lavender?
Yeah, sorry, I was setting up the battle map. If you guys want to take a look at the screen share. Alright, so you guys are about 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet away. We're gonna call the end of these stairs on the battle map the space between the window and where you guys are. Not fully representing all the space of what's in between you, but you know. So you're about 40 feet away. I'm gonna set your difficulty, and I want you to give me a targeting roll. Where are my skills? There they are. I want you to give me a targeting roll. Difficulty is 2.
I got a 15 on my D20. I only rolled my D20.
Do you have a skill die in targeting?
Say it again.
Do you have a skill die in targeting?
Oh wait, no, I do. I lied. I flip a coin too. Let me bring that up. I don't have my coin up.
Tails is 2.
That's what I've been going as. I wanted to ask that actually. I got a 16 heads on my flip.
Cool. So you sling this piece of rubble, and it flies out your hand and out the window, and goes and click clacks behind the legs of the strange creature. Let me roll their willpower real quick to see if they get distracted by this rock.
I hope they're dumb. Please do dumb.
That was a 6. Before that got knocked over. They rolled a 9 with a difficulty of 11, so they turn their head and look down at the rock behind them.
Hey guys, they pretty dumb.
And you're on level 1, so that is your attack.
Yeah, that was Vesper. That was all Vesper was gonna do. I was going to say if that die roll was like higher, I was gonna see if they could move a little bit forward, but I didn't need to do that.
All right, so moving on to Lamar. You are crouched with everyone else behind this table that is invisible on the map, but we know it's there. And you have your slingshot in your hand and prepared, and the creature outside is now distracted. Meaning they will be rolling with a downshift against anything they need to defend against.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow that up with an attempt at a milkshake to the head to hopefully get some milkshake in their eyes and or visor.
I will say their head, so their body is facing you can see the left side of their body.
Away, like where the gotcha. Yeah.
And they have turned their body more to the left to look behind them. So you're looking at the right side of their body now, like kind of contorted as they turn to the left behind them. So you can see the side of their head, definitely.
Do we? Now that
feel free to
it's
use your
distracted,
ability
do we
to
try to
skill
book it or?
Say it one more time.
I was saying, now that there's a distraction, do we try to book it or?
That is a valid question. If you guys do want to make a run for it or start moving, I'll allow you guys to all move together.
So what do we think? Do we want to try and get outside, or are we like hunkering down where we are?
That was why V kind of threw that, but they
Where
don't really
is-
From the
communicate.
exit. You guys are 15 feet from the exit. 35 feet from open sky.
Where is Mick?
Mick is not represented by a token, but Mick is to the left of V.
To the left of V. Okay. And the exit is like closer to which one of us? If you had to look, or are we all the same equal distance?
You're all about the same equal distance because you're facing broken in, open, like large windows. So you can just get out of those all together.
I have a movement of 30, so I can make it most of the way to outside. Or is there a dash action?
Okay, well, let me ask this: are we all moving together? Do we all want to make a move while this
That's
is
also-
distracted?
Yeah, is that what we want to do, or?
I'm down for that idea.
What's above us?
Ceiling, paneled ceiling. Above
A
the paneled
skylight or
ceiling
nothing?
is wires and ventilation.
Okay. So it's looking like we can't go up or back the way we came. We can really only go forward.
Yep.
There's no way to go up that you can see where you are.
I'm wondering if there was like a skylight or something. It was like a cafe, so I just
Oh no.
figured I'd ask. Juice bar, sorry. I mean,
Is there a
I'm-
back door?
It's a juice bar.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if
Lester has-
there's
Oh, the cafe. I don't serve coffee for that reason.
V has 40 movement, so, but I think we have to stay as a group. So I don't know if that means
Yeah.
anything.
So,
I'm
how
at
we gonna
30.
do this? Everybody give me a D4.
Just
I'm
a
gonna-
D4?
Yeah, just a single D4.
That's a 1, Chief.
That's a 2 for me.
One from
3.
Tyrion.
I got a 3.
So we got 1, 3. I heard 4.
No, just 3.
DJ, what'd you get?
2.
Aaron, what'd you get?
One.
All right. So, with the combined effort of all of you and the confidence flowing through you to get the fuck out of here, you all gather yourselves and mad dash together. Mick following right behind you, sort of muttering to himself, "Go, go, 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 go!" As he's kind of like pushing you all forward to get outside, and you all head out and in a direction sort of adjacent from where the creature and the man in red are having their battle. And now that we are outside, that's going to end Lamar's turn. We are under open sky, but we still have Wade and Tyrion's turn if you guys want to do anything.
We said there was no dash, right? Like, we can't. That's not something we can do. Give up our action for extra movement.
That is something you can do.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Well, all right. So I'm glad you said that more specifically, because when you said dash, I'm like, I don't necessarily understand what that means. But when you said, yeah, you can do that. Yes.
Yeah, like a sprint. Okay.
so I think the only person that couldn't do that is V, right? Because you threw something.
Yeah, no, I did my action. But V is pretty fast as well.
I was gonna say, so just for positioning, right? Can I have it such that because I'm the biggest person, right? I think we've got V's
I
kind of
would-
scrawny, right?
I would imagine you are. They're sickly looking, but I would call them like, yeah. I would imagine that Wade is the maybe like I have sketches of Lamar, but I have him kind of scrawnier. So in my mind, Wade was always
Yeah,
the
no,
biggest one.
So I would like to just position Wade in the rear, kind of like, just blocking as much as of the view between the other characters and the creature as possible, like obstructing as best as I can discern, while hastily scrambling to get the fuck out of there and kind of look over my shoulder to see what he's being distracted by, because I'm also very easily distracted. And I probably
Right,
wasn't
so-
paying attention when the brick was thrown.
Yes. So that's only 5 feet of movement as you're going to move in front of Lamar, but you're still going to be in between Lamar and Mick, who's going to be in front of you or behind you.
Okay, so it would be me, or it would be Mick, then me, then
Lamar v Tyrion.
V and Tyrion in the front. Okay.
Wait, Tyrion's in the front?
Not in the front, but well,
Like,
Furthest
we
away
get-
from the threat, but the front
Yeah.
of the conga line.
Got it.
Child sacrifice. Let's go.
yeah.
Listen, Tyrion wanted to tinker with Secret Spider for a little bit to see if he can get it to work so that he would have a weapon.
Can I hold action? Is that something that we can do?
like to prepare something.
Yeah. So like, if I, so what I want to do here in this instance is basically like, while we're all running, right? I want to hold my action if anybody like basically trips or tries to turn around and go back or anything like that. I want my action to be to just kind of like be like, nope, and shunt them back in the direction of running away.
Yes, you can do that, and because you described it in that way, When you go to do that, if you go to do that, you will be rolling with an upshift.
Okay.
All right. So this is Wade's turn. Tyrion, it's all you.
All right, so what I wanted to see is I wanted to check out the train to see if I can get it to do anything. And also how far am I from the monster, and how far is this just a random assortment of thunderbolts?
There's only the one thunderbolt. The lightning and thunder in the sky is still regular.
Got it.
You personally from the monster are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 feet away.
Okay, good. So what I'll do is I'll try to utilize my technology to see if I can get, because remember when we were in the train graveyard, I got the power source, but the power source was too big for Secret Spider. I wanted to see if I can down retrofit this power source somehow to fit into Secret Spider for it to move
And you want to
or do
use the
anything.
train for that.
No, first I want to use the power source that I picked up before I start to use the train.
You'll need time to do that.
Do we not have time?
Not to open something up and attempt to tinker, because remember, the power source you found is about the size of like a puck and will need to be modified.
Okay. Got it.
But
So then, one more time?
But you do have your train.
I like
All right,
the
so
idea of being mid-combat and being like, hold on, guys, let me make this thing.
Listen, I'm the
I love
smallest.
that.
I am the most vulnerable. I have to use the technology.
I'm not gonna
So
hide. I'm gonna make a thing. I love it.
I'm going to see if train will resonate to my wantingness to help, to see whatever it might do.
All right. So you reach in your pocket and pull out this toy train that you know has some kind of life. What are you going to say to it to try and get it to participate in these situations going on right now?
I would say something along the lines of, we need to get out of here. Can you grow and help us all leave?
I want you to give me a persuasion roll,
All right.
and that's going to be a difficulty of 30.
Wait, what?
It's going to be a difficulty of 30.
Okay. So, of course, that is a D20 of 6 and the modifier of 1.
Okay. So you speak to the train, asking it to grow and help you get out, and it is motionless. It makes no noise. You don't hear the engine. It doesn't give any kind of response. There's no blinking of the lights. Yeah, you get nothing from it right now.
Strike it. Oh, that was a serious question. It's a broken toy. Can I strike it?
Yeah. What you want to say to it?
Okay, how about this? Grow and hurt the thing that's hurting us.
Now you can roll for another persuasion, but the difficulty is going to remain the same.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm okay. I guess I'll stay in the background and figure something out.
All right. So you're gonna end your turn from there.
I'm gonna end my turn from there.
All right. So the four of you gather together. Wade trying to be ready to help his friends if they need it. Lamar with their slingshot loaded and ready. V trying to probably formulate a battle plan in their head for if they can't get out. And Tyrion, talking to a toy in their hand, are all grabbed by some part of their shoulder or arm by Mick, who quickly runs everyone a little bit further into the street as the strange man some of you see in your peripherals, and as you're being twisted around by Mick, who's pulling you along, lets his hand out and drops globs of clay onto the ground. And the clay starts to fester for a bit and grow into about 5-foot creatures that stand on either side of the strange creature. They're gray with large rocky hands, covered in full gray naked bodies with no features except for black streaks of paint along them. They have red devilish eyes and rock mouths, and they make strange sounds as they kind of twitch around and move unnaturally. Are the sounds that they make for intimidation as the other pieces of clay start to moisturize and grow, creating another and another that start to slowly surround the man in red. And as that is happening, Mick is very distressed as he has you all in his arms, and he stops for a second, gathers you all around him. Hold on to each other! As he opens his wrist, or not opens his wrist, but goes to his wrist for the strange communicator that he's been talking into since you've known him, and slams his hand down on it, on the large black jewel on top, and a large beam of light shoots down from the sky, covering all of you in white light, and you are whisked away. You feel the ground leave from under your feet. You feel the air get lighter, and you don't feel the wind or rain anymore, as you are now standing on wood. You're standing on a boat. You're standing on a boat in the sky above the clouds. And you have been teleported across who knows how far to a completely different setting, away from the battle. However, you do notice you still hear battle below you, even above the storm. So you can all kind of determine that you are above where the danger is. We are out of combat now, and as you land on the ship, none of you really have full time to make a reaction or say anything or really do anything or observe, as Mick continues to push you forward and take you to a door towards the stern of the ship, and down some stairs into a room with a couple computers, a large red chair, and a robot bird sitting on a perch sleeping. And Mick runs back up the stairs after dropping you all off. Navi, wake up! And he slams the door behind him and is out of sight now. You are all in a room I'm going to send a picture of to the chat in a second. It's pretty open. It smells amazing. It smells like it's being well kept and kept up. The floor is shiny, lights are on. The outside looked more ragged, like a pirate ship would look, but the inside is much more well kept. What are you guys thinking? What's on your minds? What do you want to do?
What's it smell like specifically?
Coffee.
Just coffee.
It smells like coffee. It smells like someone's been baking and making coffee.
So like an AA meeting? Coffee and donuts?
Yes, but not as Solum.
Okay. Just glancing around the interior, like, is there anything that looks familiar to me, or is it all just spaceship?
This is all just completely new to you. Everything is kind of wood grain aesthetic, because you're in a giant ship that is in the sky. There is a dais with monitors and screens going off. Some of the screens actually showing the battle below.
I think Vesper is actually going to walk up to the screens. And they're going to try to talk to like the computers by the screens to kind of be like, hey, what is this place? Where are we? And as they kind of do this, they kind of like shift their sunglasses down. And I don't know if anyone would be like looking at this, but their eyes are, think of like the darkest night you can think of, and then put snowfall. And that's what their eyes look like. So just pitch black with white dots that are like shifting in their eyes. They have no whites of their eyes besides the dots. And they're gonna try, and I'm not exactly sure if it would be audible because they can just speak technology. They're essentially going to ask, what is that thing attacking? What is Mick, and how can we help?
Just give me 1 second as I copy and paste these tokens onto the other page, which I should have done earlier. You speak to the screen. Do you want it to be out loud?
Yeah. So they will just, they're not hiding anything. They've, like I said, they've kind of taken down their sunglasses, and they're gonna go, you there, sheep. I know you understand me. I have some questions. Well, I only wish to help because there's nothing but a friend, and I need to thank him. He cannot die on me. How can we help? What is going on? I cannot speak for the rest of them. And they're gonna look back at the group and kind of sigh. I do not know, but I want to help. Can you tell us anything? And they're literally just standing in front of the screens, talking to the screens as if a person.
Okay.
So how you just said it is exactly what we, the characters, hear.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you talk to the screen aloud, and you wait for a response in any sense, as you usually would with the machine. And before you get a response from a machine, you hear a voice above you go, "It's not the one that talks!" And above you, you see a robot bird twitch to life. "Hi. You said your name earlier."
But
wait,
yes, it was,
who are
it was
you?
me.
Ah! Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Well, I am Vesper. We are friends of Mick. He's in danger. And then they're gonna motion to the screens.
Hold on. And their eyes that are glowing yellow go dark for a second, and their head kind of shakes. Okay, updated. Okay. Hi, I'm Navi. I'm sorry we're being under these circumstances, but you guys need to stay down here for now until things get more figured out. The best thing you can do is stay out of danger, and if we need you, hopefully we don't.
Can we see on the screen who is winning the fight?
Let me make some rolls real quick, because this is a, what is it, 7v1 fight right now? on the ground.
Yeah, but the other guy was red, so he goes faster.
Oh yeah, here, let me make some quick rolls for the battle on the ground. He's fighting 7 putties and 1 boss. Oh, okay, yeah, no, he's not doing great right now. He's holding his own. You can see on the screens. They hold a sword in their hand that is about as long as a longsword, but they're holding it with one hand, and it has a sort of claw on one end, and they're using that to fight off the putties. Every few moments he destroys one, and as he destroys the putty, it sort of explodes back into clay, and it fades away and disappears after a few seconds. But the large creature who hasn't moved from their original position throws down more clay, just making more soldiers for him to fight. So things are not looking good for him right now.
Vesper's going to just use their hands to motion to the screen, like, do you see this bird? How do you not want our help?
We only have
They're not going
one
to say that, they're just
ranger!
motioning.
What do you expect us to do? And with Mick out of commission,
There must be more. I know I've seen one of similar outfits of him. Not near here, nowhere close, but you must have more. They're a ranger. There must more than one normally. At least any squad that I am aware of.
Can't say too much, but all I can say is that if there are more, they're nowhere in this universe.
With that, like, Vesper's just going to turn their attention back to the screen. This bird ain't.
Oh wait,
This bird doesn't.
Small retcon. They said galaxy, not universe.
Okay.
What was Vesper saying?
V's just going to turn their attention back to the screen. They asked their questions, and they don't really think that the bird's that helpful right now. I think right now they might. Oh, go ahead.
Are there any like buttons or like control sticks, boards, panels?
Oh no,
I
yeah,
was gonna say, yeah, like any artillery I can find to use.
Yeah, there's keyboards and panels and buttons to press.
Well, any brain smarts with computers good with this stuff? Maybe we got some guns or something on this ship we can shoot at him.
Yeah, I want to look and see if we have any weaponry I can use from up here.
I do not think it is wise. We do not want that creature to take its beams on the ship. We can surely try the fire. And my first thought myself is to find a sniper.
It might be too late for that. As you're talking, an alarm sounds in the background, and you hear the couple loudspeakers come on. They're above us now. You hear Mick on a loudspeaker that kind of echoes through everything. No, oh no! As Navi kind of panics a bit. Hey, no, we can touch the buttons! As they kind of land on the dais in front of all of you as you have approached it. They start to peck.
I'm gonna look for the biggest button to touch as soon as he said that.
They start to pick at the keyboard and type in some things and activate battle protocol, raising a shield around the entirety of the ship. They turn their head 360 and look back at Wade and look at what they're doing. Press it!
Oh, I fucking smacked that shit so hard, dude. You have no. I want to smack it so hard that I feel like I'm gonna break it as soon as he gives me permission.
You smack it full palm down, and Navi goes, "Fuck, all right." You smack down the ship, and all of you feel a vibration come from under you, as you see on a camera that is pointed, or not a camera, but see a screen along all the other screens that shows the outside of the ship, an angle that you're not at all sure how they're getting. But you see as the wings of the ship kind of spread in X-wing formation, and slots on the ship start to open up as cannons slide out. You have activated the battle ready mode of the ship.
Can V see if it's like, does it need manned, or is it like on autopilot? Does it seem like the bird knows what it's doing?
Navi absolutely knows what they're doing, and if you want to ask them, you can.
Yeah, so V is going to look over and go, I have not forgotten you have not answered any of our questions, yet we answered yours. Or at least I did.
We're in a situation!
I am offering my help. I am just not forgetful of your actions.
That's noted. We'll pick it back up on that later. Everything on the ship is automatically operated. The grid takes care of most of the energy on the ship, so we don't need to worry about refilling cannons or refilling any fuel. We just need to make sure that anything gets on the ship, it gets off as fast as possible. With the shields up, we should be good a while.
Do you have any sort of guns that are similar to snipers around? If we arm ourselves, our chances are higher.
Bandora keeps the weapons locked up. Me personally, I just have laser eyes.
Oh, so you can protect us then. And then they motion to the fact that they're teenagers and a child.
Well, yes, that was one of my main objectives when I was first commissioned. But I'm mostly just a navigator.
Yes, Navi, that makes sense. I had a suspicion. So we are just to sit here and await our loons. And then they kind of say that to the group. Their back is to the bird now. So they're kind of like leaned up against the controls, focusing their attention on the group.
Now, V, as you turn your back and turn towards everyone, you notice on the opposite side of where everyone is standing, there is a red chair that looks kind of like a captain's chair, and there is a chest sitting under it that is visible to you.
Oh no! All right, V's gonna stock up, kind of just like casually walk up to the chest. Actually, when they walk by Tyrion, they're gonna stop and be like, "Can you make sure?" And they're kind of like try to whisper it. Make sure the bird does not look behind.
And Tyrion makes the most wonderfulest performance that he can muster up. He does the German dogs.
And
Give
yeah,
me
yes.
give me a performance roll against their willpower.
You
Their
got it.
willpower before.
And we have a 17 for the 20, and we have a 2 for the modifier.
All right. So, what dance are you doing?
The German dog.
All right, so you start to
Pretty much.
dance, and it starts off slow, kind of subtle. Navi kind of like 360s her head again away from the screens and kind of like cocks her head to the side. And as your dance starts to continue and get more intense, and the vibe of the room just changes to like everyone can kind of hear the music in the background, even though there's no music playing anywhere. You start to kind of like influence everyone as everyone kind of joins in with the dance, clapping with you, and V is slowly trailing off, clapping slowly and quieter as they finally sneak over to that red chair.
That boy's on beat. Yeah, V is definitely gonna kind of. I see if there's any like alarms or even if it's locked? Just like by looking at it, they're not touching it yet.
You don't see anything specific. The only signs of like anything odd are scratch marks under this chair that looks like this box has been moved a lot.
Oh, well, I'm gonna look in this box.
Let
As
the
you-
box loose.
As you start to reach for the box, you are all shaken off your feet as several large blasts hit the outer shield of the ship. For those of you who are still standing by the screens, you see enemy ships fly by with strange pointed noses and wide wings, with almost like evil eye looking slots where the lasers are being shot out from, that are firing down on the ship. Finally snaps back from what they were doing, and they fly steadily in the air to keep themselves from falling over and stay in one place as they look at the screens. Oh, they're hitting us hard! Shields are about to down! And you all hear the of the shield lowering as it's now been overwhelmed by the enemy attack from outside, and the sounds of battle grow loud as the sky battle is now fully audible to you, which was before cut off by the layer of the shield. Navi sort of panics for a bit and flies in circles, squawking as Mick comes back over the loudspeaker. Navi, I need you up here! They're about to land on deck! Does anyone have any reactions before we enter a cinematic moment?
Did we figure out what's in the chest, or did we open the chest at all?
No, chest hasn't
V?
even been touched yet.
Okay.
Yeah, as V was going to, that's when we were jostled.
Does Navi actually go and beckon, or is it sticking around, or is it incapacitated? What is it gone?
Navi is flying in place right now at the screens, just squawking to themselves and audibly panicking.
But it's not making an effort to come when called.
Not yet.
Okay.
I think I'll maybe offer like an arm for Navi to perch on and say that I'm going to head up if they want to hitch a ride.
Navi looks to you and shakes their little robot head, and you can hear the gears kind of warm up as they like get back into themselves. Stay down here! I'm serious! And they fly off up the same walkway that Mick used, the door opening automatically and shutting automatically behind them. And Navi is now gone from the room. On the screens, you guys can see that the man who has been called Bandora is doing better in the fight than he was. There are less putties around him, but he is still on the ropes with the many he's dealing with, and he still has the untouched creature to deal with. Outside, you hear blaster fire and lasers as you now hear the thudding of footsteps on the deck of the ship. An air of danger and hopelessness starts to resonate with everyone as the questions of what's going to happen start to flood everyone's head. In the same moment, the box that V was reaching for only a moment ago shakes. Shakes twice. It shakes 3 times. It starts to shake enough that it is jostling itself from under this chair. As you all turn your head to notice the jostling, you step towards the captain's chair in the box that is slowly making its own way from under the chair. The air is...
I think V would have opened.
Mhm.
I think V would have opened it the minute Navi left.
As you start to reach your hand, V, towards the box, it flips itself open, and for each one of you, time seems to stand still for only a second as everything fades away from you in white light. Wade, you are floating in a void, alone. You feel comfort. You feel you're scared, or you could be scared, but you feel calmer amongst most things as a ball of light floats in front of you. You hesitate for a moment before fully taking it into yourself, and you are taken over by light again. V. You float in a void, white light surrounding you. You feel determined. You feel ready to fight. A ball of white light floats in front of you. You hold your hand out, and it lands in your hand, sinking into your skin as white light surrounds you. Lamar, Tyrion, both floating, not in the same void, but also in the same situation, floating in a void of white light, a ball floating in front of you. Tyrion, you are more curious of this ball of light, and you very happily eat it.
That I do.
Lamar, you are cautious, taking your time to kind of look it over the best you can from every angle this space allows you to get before inviting it to join you. The two of you are surrounded by white light, and in each one of your DMs, you just received an image. So everyone let me know when they've had a chance to look at that. Don't say out loud what it is yet.
I saw it immediately, my dear.
Looked at it.
All right. Yep. I see that.
So everyone for a moment, imagine there is a theme song playing in the background as white light shrinks once again back towards the box, a humming coming from it. You all feel different. You all feel stronger than before. As the box closes and the blinding white light goes away, you notice your eyes don't hurt from being directly what feels like in front of a flashlight. And you look down at yourselves and at each other, and you notice that Wade is covered in green armor, V in black armor, Lamar in a deep pink armor, and Tyrion in purple armor. Energy flows through all of you as you look through your visors as they power up in a heads-up display full of numbers and languages that you understand but don't need to take time to comprehend, flow past you in small, very not distracting ways to process information of everything around you. Something about all of you has changed. And you are now Power Rangers.
Woot woot.
Do 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 do. Go Power Rangers.
What's everybody's theme song? Go.
Oh, I didn't even think of one. Hold on, wait. Wait, no, you go first.
What's the theme that plays in the third JoJo's?
I only watched part 1 and 2.
Stardust Crusaders. That whatever the theme song is for that, the intro. That's what I was going through my mind.
My mind keeps going to like either this Linked Horizon song or Attack on Titan, like the rumbling. But that's just because you went to anime.
Yeah, my head's also leaning anime now.
I would say the intro to Inuyasha.
Which one?
The first one, I think it was.
That's
The one where it's
all
just-
of them are bangers.
Since we're going anime intros, my mind went to D. Gray Man.
Good.
The original one, not
What
the
about
remake.
what about you, Lamar?
I think the like third Bleach intro, Ichirindo Hana, that's the one. If we're doing weed
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
All right, so you all stand together, now in suits of armor. Not the same design as the man in red, but clearly the same material and energy. In a sense, you all can understand because of the power flowing through you what's happening to you. But there are still endless questions in all of your minds. But right now, you know that there are enemies standing above you. So, what's everyone going to do?
Can I see placement? You said above us, right?
Yeah, you all are still underground, not underground, but in the room that you were brought down to by Nick. So you haven't been up top yet to see where anything is. But I am getting those tokens.
We just know somewhere above us there's guys.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna stretch this a little bit because it's kind of wide in the wrong places.
Are we weaponing or hand to hand?
Do you want to look for a weapon?
That
Like
was
that?
actually going to be a question to DM. Are we cognizant of the fact that we have all of the stuff that we picked out for our characters and our stat sheets and stuff?
Not in
Or is
this
that
moment.
something? Okay.
I think V's going to start literally conversing with the suit and just be like, "So you were the white light," and then they're gonna look at like their hands and whatnot and like kind of inspect their suit and then like see everybody else's suit, just kind of see what colors everyone is and how everyone's taking our magical girl transformations.
Wade is doing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man thing where he's like trying all sorts of different hand gestures to make something happen.
Alright, so I'm sorry, I'm fixing this map because it was very rectangular and not square. But actually, you know what, we can keep
What's
this for now.
what's it look like Lamar and Tyrion are up to?
Tyrion has a thought. If I strike a pose, does anything explode? TM.
Are you asking me,
Legitimate.
or is Tyrion thinking that?
No, Tyrion is both thinking and asking. Because Tyrion might just do. Actually, no. Tyrion's going to do, and Tyrion has a catchphrase. Because Tyrion is smart.
Sorry, I'm fixing these things.
What is the catchphrase? What is the pose?
So Tyrion's going to what is it? We were talking Cat Morgan. We're gonna Cat Morgan it. And execution is the chariot of genius. And we're gonna strike pose.
Alright, so you say your catchphrase and strike your pose, doing a couple different motions with your arms that all feel very natural as they come to you. And it feels almost choreographed as you end in a last showy pose, and you feel energy flow through you, but there's no explosion.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys once again start to hear the of the alarms signaling danger, but this time there's no one over the loudspeaker to say what's going on. However,
I guess it's
again,
time.
on the screens of the dais, you can see on board the ship that Mick is holding a laser rifle and defending himself as Navi flies around firing on the putties with their laser eyes. But they are also beginning to struggle.
I mean, I think Lamar's immediately out the door.
I
Right
think,
at this point, we're going to hand it.
Yeah.
V is might. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna follow behind, and I'm still doing all my hand gestures, and they're getting progressively more vulgar to try and make something happen.
V's gonna just kind of. They're gonna stand behind for a few moments and then trail behind. And as they're trailing behind, they're gonna try to talk to their suit. And they're going to say, like, they're just gonna go back to what they were doing before with the computer screens as they kind of slowly trail behind. Like, what's that? What are you? What are we now? Part of the Red Man's force. The Red Man down there, and kind of just trail after slowly. So I guess to everybody else talking to themselves, like it would look like Beast talking to themselves.
You speak to your suit as you start to head outside, and unlike technology you've spoken to before, where you could feel the presence of the technology, you don't feel a presence. You don't feel anything listening.
And they're just gonna go quiet and just follow.
All right. As everyone makes their way onto the deck, you see the battle going on up top, with Mick firing a laser rifle in the sky at passing ships, as well as at approaching putties that are threatening him. Navi is fighting alongside them, using their laser eyes to fire down on putties. It is not really enough to destroy any, unlike Mick's rifle, but it's enough to distract some and keep them at bay, for him to like ram into them or dive bomb them. The four of you get up top, and it's in this moment that you all see the danger around you, and you feel compelled to line up together with Lamar standing in front of you, V behind them to the right, Wade directly behind Lamar, and Tyrion to the left. You all stand together, and energy flows through you. What feels like a second burst from when you first transformed, and you all pose together, synchronized, something none of you have planned, but maybe it was the dancing earlier that made you all feel inspired enough. You all pose together, and finally, what Tyrion was waiting for.
Wait, what's our pose? What's the pose? Sorry, I need to know.
Oh, I'm
It's
caught
Ginyu
right
Force.
in the middle of a vulgar gesture. Darn it.
Can it all be a vulgar gesture? Or the delinquents?
Have I figured anything out yet? Am I just feeling the vibes lining up in this
Oh well, right now
formation?
Right now we're still in the cinematic moment, but
Oh, okay.
for what? Are you trying to summon a weapon?
Yeah, I've been trying this whole time.
Yeah. We're 2 seconds away.
Okay.
Yeah. So you all pose together, feeling your energy synchronized finally, as an explosion of green, pink, purple, and black smoke comes from behind you, sparks following. And you all kind of turn your head for a second as Tyrion starts to grow and is now about the same height as all of you, if not a little shorter than Wade. Tyrion now being teenager-sized rather than child-sized. Everyone, roll initiative.
Could you always do that? And initiative is just flat d20. Oh wait, no, I lied. I know what initiative is. I mean, it's my character sheet.
I eat my vegetables.
I got a 7 on my initiative.
I got on my D20 I got 14. On my flip I got a 2. So 16.
I am at 11 with a 9 out of 20 and a 2 of 2.
16 for the D20 and a 2 for the flip.
All right. So Tyrion's gonna go first. Followed by who got 16? Lamar.
Me.
Oh,
Vesper.
And then Wade with 11. And then Lamar with 7. Okay. All right. So you are facing down 6 putty patrollers in the immediate area. Things in the sky you don't have to worry about, as Mick kind of has those handled, as along with the still ongoing cannons of the ship. All right. As you all prepare yourselves for battle, you move into fighting stances, and in your hands you feel energy and vibration in your fingertips as light erupts in your hands in your color. Tyrion, with you being first, what weapon appears in your hand?
We're going to call them the Cosmic Couplers. And they're going to look like put it in the group. If I didn't right. But they're gonna look like Tomfa like things.
All right. And what you gonna do? And also we now have full access to our character sheets, meaning your what's it called? What's it called? Your perks.
Our morph
powers.
Yeah, yeah, and our morph stats too.
Yes.
Oh.
So when we roll with certain stats, we're going to be using our morph stats instead of our regular base stats.
Gotcha. So wait, where am I? Okay, so yeah, I have the Cosmic Couplers, and they do a thing. They really don't do anything. But I guess would I move to the one closest to my right, or to the one closest to me? I have 35 movement.
This is your first battle as Rangers, so we're not going to worry about movement right now.
Oh, okay. And listen, we're gonna hit this thing. Just straight out hit it.
All right.
And
So you are going to roll. Give me a. Give me a might roll.
got it.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
They do that. Let me pull out this book I forgot to pull out.
Got it.
Okay. With the putty stats in them, because I don't have that in front of me. I should.
All right. We have those. Oh, that's gonna suck. So we have a 2 for the D20, and we have a 2 for the flip.
All right. So you swing down your cosmic couplers, and they just whiz by the putty, who skids off to the side and strafes and looks at you. Sort of gives you a taunting like shake as it wiggles its arms at you, and it's going to attempt to retaliate, pushing its arms out towards your chest. So I want you to give me an evasion. I want you to give me your morphed evasion.
Morphed for
Unless you have perks or bonuses in your morphed, it won't. It'll just be a regular evasion.
not at all. Not at all. 13.
All right. So the putty pushes both its rock arms into your hand and pushes you backwards into the ground as you fall down but roll backwards. Your back hitting a pillar as you kind of, but it doesn't hurt as much as something like that should have, especially at the speed and strength that you were pushed. And you kind of check yourself. You're all right. Your armor's not ripped. Nothing feels broken, and you stand back up. And that was your action and movement. All right. Next up is Vesper, or V.
V is there a difference between the clay, the two clay people tokens?
Oh no, they're the same, just different poses.
Okay. V. How much movement would it take me for V to get up the steps?
Well, we're not worrying about movement too much right now. So you want to go up the steps?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And as they move up the steps, they're gonna be like pretty quick with it. They're gonna pull it out their hands and go, "Oh yes, this is the right weight that I want." And as they say that, a long, sleek-looking sniper. I have, like, if you know guns, I have it based off of, I think it's called the Seiko TRG 22A1. I just do a lot of character creation when I have my time. I don't know much about guns, gonna be honest with y'all. At like the crook of, like at the tip of the gun, almost like dancing. It doesn't look like it's even attached to the gun. There's like a crooked X that's kind of like dancing. And they're not going to say it out loud, but this sniper I have, well, it's a power bow, but it's flavored as a sniper. It's called Hermes. And they're going to take an attack on probably the one in front of Tyrion.
Normally, we can't move and aim for targeting attacks in normal
roleplay.
But
Okay.
No, but again, this is your first time as Rangers, so we're ignoring some rules like movement. All right, so you are above the battle by a few feet, next to the captain's wheel. Also making you the closest to Mick right now. And you're aiming down at the putties?
The one closest, like the one in front of Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an extended, I have a specialty that puts it in, that should put it in my range.
All right. I want you to go ahead and give me a targeting roll.
Alright, my d20 is not looking good. Let me... yeah. So, can I spend a point to reroll?
What'd you roll?
Because I rolled a 5 on my d20 and a 1 on the flip. That's a 6.
Go for it.
Alrighty, and I believe I have an ability that helps me out. Let me go to that. I'm using my Eureka. That's my idea point. Oh no. No, I lied. I'm using my inspiration because idea points don't do that. Or the story point, I should say. Oh yeah, my Savant skill, and that's on page 58 of A Jump Through Time. So I can reroll my skill test as 1d20 plus 1d4.
Alright, go for it.
That's better, but I don't like it. That's a 10. That's a on my d20. That's a 7, and on my 4, that's a 3.
You take your sniper in hand and aim it down. It feels light in your hands. It's almost weightless compared to every other weapon you've ever held throughout your life and all the battles that you've been in. And it's a little lighter than you expect as you only take a moment to clear up your aim and take your shot. You accounted for bullet drop even at the close distance that you were at, and you were met with the immediate fire of a laser that does hit the putty, but not as solid as you expected. You don't hit it in the exact place you were aiming. You hit it a little bit above and graze the top of its head. But as you graze the top of its head, a sear goes right through its face as its head shoots up and it falls back onto the ground dead, exploding into clay, then disappearing after a couple seconds.
Was that a successful roll then? Or no?
You were 1 point shy, but
Alright, because with Savant skill, if I failed that roll, if I failed that story point roll, it doesn't count as me using that story point roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So you guys still have 4 story points.
And that's going to be V's turn.
All right. Next up is Wade.
All right. Let me see. Probably by this point, I'm very frustrated that I have not been able to make anything happen. What's the biggest guy that I can see?
Well, the biggest guy you could see is the closest one to you, but they're all about the same size.
Okay, nobody definitely looks like they're leading all of these individuals, or like one's bigger than any of the other one in particular, or yelling, barking orders or anything.
No, they're all
Okay.
doing that mumbly lulling sound.
Okay. So then, yeah, seeing everybody else just kind of go forward and summon weapons and start blasting, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm sitting there making gestures. I'm yelling stupid shit. Go, gadget, Desert Eagle. Nothing's happening.
Well, in your gesturing and in your phrasing, you finally feel the energy spark into your hand as a power weapon finally manifests itself in front of you. What is your power weapon?
I'm just confused at this point. I mean, like, come on, man, give me anything. A knife, a gun, a knife gun, and then that's what comes into my hand. It's I'll put it in the chat, but it's basically like a fire axe head with, just a shotgun, pretty much. It's very uninventive and very crude and very Wade. And I am going to blast the nearest thing to me.
So you said you got a shotgun?
Yeah, like I said here, I'll post it here shortly.
So we're gonna move you to the one closest to you. And you were shooting a shotgun. Double check if I need to do anything for that. I don't think I do. Yeah, so you go ahead and I want you to give me a... Give me a might roll. You have might, right?
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay, cool.
I will tell you how much in 1 second. Not a lot, but enough. All right, that is a 15 on a 20 and a 2 on a 2 for a total of 17.
All right. You said it's a fire axe with a shotgun?
Yeah, pretty much. I put it in the characters and rangers.
I love that. That's hilarious. I love that. Okay. Okay. So,
It's very kludged on.
well, in the power weapon sense, it is a made weapon that is made for you. So
Yeah,
it's very
and
smooth
I
like,
no, I'm
designed.
telling you that is exactly what Wade is envisioning, and that's how it would be made for him if it were to be tailor made for him. It would be like that on purpose, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, nice. All right, so you blast your shotgun, and it vibrates in your hand and kicks back, kicking into your shoulder as you even take a step back a little bit from the energy, and you absolutely blow away the putty that's in front of you into smithereens. It doesn't even have a chance to turn into clay. All right. And Lamar.
All right. So Lamar kind of does the instinctive move for his slingshot to do a shot, and I imagine as he does so, his weapon kind of manifests. He has the Star Slinger, which I've also sent to the Characters Rangers chat. Basically just a laser slingshot. And I'm gonna do a volley, which lets me sacrifice moving and everything to do a double attack. And the attack with the Star Slinger is 4 shots, so I'm doing 8 shots.
All right.
But it only every 2 hits does 1 energy damage, so it's not like I'm shooting 8 times.
All right. So, we roll for each individual. Well, I guess yeah. Okay. So you're firing 8 shots, but those 8 shots are 4 shots in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much. If I ever get any on-hit effects, though.
Right. Response not allowing you to make a number of range attacks. I guess my only question is, do I roll for shots hit? No, yeah, I guess, yeah, no, yeah, why would I? Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have you roll for the first one, / first 2.
And do I roll targeting, or is that like a flat?
Give me flat, yeah.
Flat, okay. That is a 15.
Alright, you take out 1.
Alright. And are we just counting that as like 2 of the shots hitting, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And then that's another 15.
That's...
I promise my die isn't weighted. Well, to my knowledge. Okay, that's a 3.
That's a miss.
And that's a 19.
That's another hit. Alright, so there are 2 putties left on this ship. Mick is gonna make their move real quick. In the heat of battle, Mick hasn't even noticed anyone else is out here until he takes down a ship that is in the sky, and it kind of spirals and explodes off in the distance. As he turns around with kind of like that crazy action man look in his eyes, he's kind of squat with a large gun in his arms. What's it net? Rangers! And he drops the gun and puts his hands on his head and his messy hair. What? Who are you guys?
Hey, Mick, it's us. Yeah, it's us.
I was right. I was right. Bandora owes me $20. And he's gonna pick his laser rifle back up, and Mick is going to attack one of the putties on the ground, and he's going to make a acrobatics roll. Mick just fucking crit. 17 on D24 and D4. Alright, so Mick is going to pick his laser rifle back up and run past Vesper and do a double backflip off the ledge that he's running towards, and in the air fire down a laser shot into the putty that was furthest from Tyrion and land back on the ground. I get really athletic when I'm excited. And moving on to Navi doesn't necessarily need a turn, but Navi now flies back around, having watched the whole situation go down. I can't believe it! Can't believe Nick is right! I owe Bandora $20! So with 1 putty left, you guys want to team up on him?
Can we
Bird's not gonna
do
use the
our
laser eye.
confusion move?
Oh no, yeah. I forget the bird lasers. I want to do that.
How do you guys all want to take care of this last putty? So
we're gonna line up kind of how we did before, right? Because that's how we all felt the good vibes rolling through.
Uh-huh.
All right, I believe I was giving someone the finger, and I was right behind Lamar.
I feel like whatever it is, the Star Slinger's like the trigger. So however we build it, the Star Slinger probably goes at the back.
Oh my god, I'm pulling on the string with my middle finger.
All right, so
And then
we got
I let
Star
it go.
Slinger, we got a shotgun axe, we got a sniper rifle, and we have train hooks. All right, give me 5 seconds to work my brain.
Our special weapon, 2.5 guns.
Welcome to America.
Alright, so the 4 of you gather up, flipping and jumping to meet each other. As Mick watches with wide, starry eyes, and Navi lands on his shoulder, he kind of notices what you're doing and gets a little small look of oh no on his face. None of you see that though. You guys come together. Lamar throwing their Star Slinger into the air almost instinctively, and it flashes a light for a second and grows, coming down and landing in their hands, now being 2 hand size, as Wade follows up, putting his shotgun in the center hook of the slingshot, and it glows for a second and sets in place. Vesper coming in under them, and placing their sniper rifle upside down on top of Wade's shotgun, giving it a double barrel, and finally Tyrion coming in with their dual clubs or dual hooks, and they put those on under the axe head of Wade's shotgun axe as they extend into legs, and the entirety of the set sort of becomes a minigun with a what's the term for when you got the thing on the front that helps it stand up?
A scope? No,
Yes, cool.
The like tripod.
Yes.
Oh,
So Tyrion essentially made a tripod with their hooks, and everything came together to be like a double barrel machine gun that you all have
What?
a hand on.
V is just grinning underneath their mask, ear to ear.
What's our like Ranger get wrecked nerd catchphrase?
I feel like this is a hate crime we're gonna commit on this thing.
We're going way overboard on just a putty.
listen, we might as well just say get wrecked.
This is actually, I'm okay with get wrecked because that's what's happening.
GG no re.
GG no re in unison goes crazy, actually.
Let's do it.
All right, so you all look at the putty that's standing in front of you. He is shaking with fear as he's watched you all have this conversation, and he doesn't even know what to do anymore as you all say, GG no re! In unison, firing a large, or not even large shot, from the shotgun barrel, a beginning large burst shot, and from the sniper rifle barrel, multiple faster shots in succession upon the putty, as it doesn't even explode at first. It just starts taking everything, getting closer and closer and closer to the edge as it finally falls off the edge and over, exploding in midair.
You know, I feel bad for the guy now.
Mick,
He would
That was
feel
kind of a
bad for
dick
us.
move.
Mick walks over. We usually save those for the big ones at the end.
Well, it was at the end.
Hey, well, it
Question,
never
though.
occurred to me as a question for the GM. How many times a day can we do that?
Ooh.
Oh no!
That's going to cost
I
each
love
of you
this.
an hour when it's used in the future.
Hell yeah. It was worth it. Are we standing in a stairwell as well when we do this?
No. No, that's not real.
Okay.
It doesn't exist.
Yes,
It's
we're
not
standing in a stairwell.
real. I think it might just be like one of the grates above. Right, so as the feeling of battle clears out a bit, you all remember the man in red who was on the ground, and instinctively you rush downstairs to look at the monitors, and you see that the fight has really kind of like slowed down as the man in red holds his sword up, no longer surrounded by putties, but just to the strange creature that is approaching them. Their red glow much softer than before, as you can see their skin now covered in bandages that are black and dripping a weird black substance. They fight for only a moment longer before they stop. The strange man covered in the cloth, looking at his own wrist. There's no communicator on there that you recognize, but he looks at his wrist for a moment and nods, teleporting away without a single word as Bandora comes in for a slash attack, missing as the puff of smoke disappears. They look around for a moment before teleporting themselves, and you guys hear the thud of a body back on top of the ship as you now all run back up. We are out of combat now and entering the last scene for this session. So, everyone's still morphed. Tyrion now several feet taller, and you all run up to the deck as you see a man in red laying on the ground, screaming in pain. His armor is glowing red in a fading, almost flashing and fading way, as he is curled up on the ground, holding on to himself.
I am going to run up to him and attempt first aid.
Oh yeah, isn't that one of your things?
I believe so. I am looking. Um. Yeah, I think so. I'm like a firefighter.
Would first aid just be survival, or
Yeah, but it's one of those when you pick
like
a
a
specialization. Yeah.
So you run over to the man in red, and you put your hand on them at first, and you feel their entire body vibrating, not shaking like someone who's cold or in pain, but very literally vibrating to the touch. You back your hand away for a second as the man rolls from you. Don't touch me yet! And he attempts to stand up using the side of the ship. Let me grab his token real quick. And he's going to try to stand himself up, failing a bit, as Mick comes over to him, and Mick seems to touch him without problems, as he helps the man in red to his feet. He steadies himself for a bit, and kind of looks at all of you. His armor is still kind of like flashing red in and out, but he's no longer screaming in pain as he's catching his breath. And he demorphs, and in front of you stands a tall black man with long hair and a Renaissance mask on. He's holding a white gun in his right hand that he was already holding before, and his red bodysuit has turned into regular clothes, but a very wavy, very anime, obnoxious, wavy black overcoat. Or trench coat, I should say. And Tyrion, you fully realize this is the same person that you have seen before in this moment.
And again, I yell out, delinquent adult. Why you?
Bandora looks towards you and says, "You're the fucking reason I had to deal with this last time." And Mick kind of like slaps him on the shoulder. Take kids. Four of you stand across from the man who was recently in red armor. All of you now in your own colored armor. Does anyone want to demorph? Or does anyone have any questions they want to ask these two men standing in front of them?
Where'd that red feller go?
The one that was kicking my ass, or the one that was just in front of you?
Nah, there was a fella here who was dire need of medical attention. I was fixing to assist him, and then he just gone.
He might still need it, the man says as he then falls forward onto the ground, passing out.
I try to catch him before he falls.
And you're still gonna roll with that upshift, so give me a Finesse. Or acrobatics, actually.
Finesse.
And acrobatics with an upshift
Alright.
1.
And I'm still morphed, right?
Yes.
I don't actually know if that's going to help me here. That is a 10 with an 8 of 20 and a 2 of 2.
Alright. And then difficulty real quick. His difficulty was a 13, so you start to reach out, but the man falls a little faster than you were expecting, and he hits the ground.
I look back to see if anybody saw.
Everybody saw. There's no way. I know V saw.
Perception difficulty 1.
So about an hour passes
Did your
by.
job right the first time.
In that hour, V will probably spend their time trying to explain to Wade that the man in the red suit is the man that he did not catch.
So you're saying he's like that Mick feller who can shapeshift? I'm fully morphed in my green suit. I haven't figured out how to
I
turn
was
it
just
off.
going to say, yeah.
As you're all
Very
having this
much.
conversation, it's been about an
Dude.
hour, and you're standing back in that initial room that you were brought to when you were first brought to the ship, having this conversation. Or continue. I'm sorry, just letting you know where we were.
Oh, yeah, no, you're good. I wasn't sure if there was like something else was happening or if like he was waking up. Yeah, so yeah, V's gonna spend probably as long as they can to get at least halfway there that they're the same person. Yes, do you consider what we do shape-shifting? And then they're going to... V also hasn't taken off their armor, and they're going to motion to the armor.
Probably, honestly, after like the fifth or so time, I've got enough shame that I'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. And I don't, just to make, like, to save myself the embarrassment.
From across the room, you guys hear a groan and mumble. It's called morphing, not shapeshifting. And Bandora, now a little bit more spry, sits up in the captain's chair that Mick placed him in an hour ago, and looks at all of you. Now, in your costumes, you can take your helmet off. Is anyone taking their helmet off, or are we all still in full costume?
I'll take mine off.
I think
Yeah, I
as soon
think I
as
helmet off to stay morphed.
he explained that it was morphing, V would probably just try to morph back into their casual, in quotations, clothes.
I'm gonna start from square one, from the very first gesture that I made, and I'm just gonna work my way through all the motions until I get to the one that I feel like I was making at the time of me changing.
So I have a general question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I take my helmet off, do I shrink as one does when helmets are off?
No, you stay the same. You stay your morphed size when your helmet is off,
Okay.
Big body, little head.
and you don't look any older, but your body is accommodating for the size that you are.
God.
So you look like a adult-sized child in a very literal way.
Okay.
What was Little Joe's last name?
Ugh, Chappelle.
Okay, that's what I'm picturing.
Hmm.
All right, so so V is demorphing.
Yeah, when Bandora's like, no, it's not shapeshifting. It's more. It's called morphing. They're gonna demorph and just kind of nod their head and be like,
And Wade is attempting to demorph.
Throwing up gang signs.
As you get specifically
And
to the blood sign, you finally demorph, but you personally can't determine if it was because of that or not.
I believe that it is regardless.
So-
Oh no.
So the both of you demorph, and you notice that in your hands is a large tarot card. Wade, you look down at yours, and it is green. It is a shade of green. On the top, it says Celadon, and in the center of the card, there's a number 0 and the words "The Fool" below it. On V's card, the word obsidian. Is that true?
Yes,
Your
it's obsidian.
Yeah, the word obsidian
Yes.
sits with the Roman numeral for 9 below it, and the words "The Hermit." You will also take a moment to notice that on your respective left wrists, there is now a strange shaped watch with a bit of a flat part on the top with a pentagram on it.
I think V's gonna hold up the card and their card in Bandora's direction and tilt their head and kind of be like, "What's the card? I do not understand. The device I've seen on Mick, correct?"
Oh, oh, that's a morpher, kid. Oh, okay. Wait a second.
I look down at my little doodad and I'm like, damn, I'm on probation again.
How many of you have been Power Rangers before? Raise show of hands, please.
I think he's
question-
meaning about being on probation, and I raise my hand.
Question to the lovely DM.
Mhm.
Would V have heard of Power Rangers in their travels?
Yes, you heard of Power Rangers before that situation at that Skull Station from Vaughn.
What is the extent of their knowledge? Like, what do they know of them?
From what
Were
you
they
heard,
frowned
uh,
upon, or
from what you know of them personally, what Vaughn told you, what he repeated to you before on that day, his opinion of them is that they were villainous and evil.
Oh, okay. I think V is just gonna go quiet at that thought and go, We did not seem like a villain.
You probably wouldn't have said that like 15 years ago. And Vendora finally starts to get up from his chair and stretch his arms. He's gonna walk over to a mirror and he's gonna look over to you guys for a sec. I'm not being weird. I just gotta check something. And he lifts up his shirt and looks at his back in the mirror. And it's visible to all of you as well as he lifts up his shirt. And on his back is a tattoo of a moth. And the moth starts to move, the tattoo, as if it were in 3-dimensional space, and move up his back, just above his right hip bone. And he's going to look down at the tattoo and go, 8.
Like the number or ATE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyrion will come up and say, "Countdown to destruction," as we demorph, because I don't want to feel left out because I don't have a card.
You demorph and shrink back down to your normal size, which is a little jarring at first, but you readjust pretty fast within a few seconds. And Bandora looks down at you. You have no idea. But hey, you made it 9, so thanks.
Oh, hey, I'm up. Now Tyrion's totally confused.
Wait, so would V realize that Tyrion and Lamar don't have cards? It's just them and Wade?
Well, Okay, well, actually, has Lamar detransformed yet?
I think as the bandwagon goes, Lamar probably does, but he is very like he just kind of notices out of the corner of his eye. He's very transfixed on like his morpher though.
Yeah. They also have cards. Tyrion having a card reading mauve with the Roman numeral 8.
I thought it was 7.
7.
I'm 8.
Yeah, with the Roman numeral 7 and the word the chariot under it, and Lamar holding a pink card with the word rouge, the Roman numeral 8, and the word strength under it. Alright, so Lamar is messing around with their morpher. You gonna do anything specific with it?
I think he's just trying to figure out how it works as a general like what powers morphing and why does this do it.
And what about Tyrion? Oh, well, Tyrion just interacted with Pandora. Pandora's gonna walk past Tyrion and over to the control dais of the ship and type a few things in, and some more lights come on than were on before. And Navi wakes back up, but doesn't say anything, just kind of looks around and goes back to sleep. And no. And Pandora pats their head and turns back towards all of you. All right. There's no nice way of saying this.
I know we are to be treacherous villains, killers. It's
What?
okay. I was raised to be one. I just
Who told you? What?
Power Ranger.
Who told
I'm
you
not
that?
killing anybody.
Who told
You-
you? Who?
We just. Did you not see the man we blew off the ship?
We're
Did you
myth
not think
butters.
he killed him? You are all killers now. The first kill might be shocking, but you look it over it as time
Okay.
goes on.
Everyone
My
time.
mind is
Putties are made out of clay and
exploding
magic.
right now.
Putties are made out of clay and magic. They're not people, so you didn't kill anyone. And second thing, we're not villains.
Buddy, that sounds kind of racist.
I was going to say, how do you know? They seemed pretty sentient. They seemed, or were they under control?
Magic.
Well, magic, can you, well, one can argue that magic is like, from to just normal life to some people. We're not
I'm gonna
magical.
eyeball this guy up, and I'm gonna see if he's got any prejudices.
Right now, strictly against you. He's gonna look back at Wade and just raise an eyebrow.
I'm gonna raise both of them.
He's gonna nod and give a
At the
thumbs
same
up.
time,
Okay.
I kind of give him a little bit of the crazy eye.
Alright, so you're definitely the kids that Mick has been talking about. He thought the
Good
power
things,
was
I hope.
A reputation already, damn.
not a bad one. He thought this power was gonna choose you. And as Bendor is saying that, he's leaning down under the dais and pulling out a flask.
well, I understand for me, but the other three seemed, well, no offense, Tyrion, I do not know about you, but Wade and Lamar, they seem normal, not killers. Why would you make them rangers?
Wasn't me, he says as he leans his head back and takes a swig. Was the morphing grid. I was maybe more normal than any of you here before when I got my powers.
More normal? This guy is definitely hiding some prejudices.
You can't just say that.
Like on a scale from like eggshell to cream cheese, how white is this guy? I know you said he's black, but he's not really acting like any sort of fucking reasonable person.
He is black coffee.
with
I'm keeping
ice.
an eye on it.
He is the bitterness, no sugar, no cream. It's been overbrewed on purpose.
Ooh.
Just burnt bean water.
The
He boils it
mud.
extra long, so it's basically
The
just straight
mud.
I hate that for him.
So Bandora looks around at all of you again, leaning against the dais. Alright. I feel like questions
I do not-
are due.
I do not think Lamar's father would like him to have a life of crime.
We're not criminals.
Eh?
Who told you we're criminals?
Which is his
I
own.
mean, but
which
they're
is a
all
list.
delinquents. I'm just here for the ride.
V, would you say?
Well, the fact that Wade's like, oh, not Wade, Tyrion's like, no, you are criminals. V's going to motion to Tyrion and be like, I am not the only one who knows of this. Why are you asking me?
One second. Because Bandora is going to make a culture roll. While looking
Wait,
at
what's
V.
that? Oh, I don't like that. Don't look at V and do something called an ultra roll. Wait, what is an ultra roll? Please
Culture.
explain to the ignorant.
Oh, I was about
culture.
to say, did you really?
Ultra roll.
Yeah, I was like, what is an ultra roll? Like,
You're about
hold
to
on,
get
wait, that's
ultra
scary. I was like, that's scary sounding.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
set.
like I'm just gonna jump off the boat.
Alright, so Bandora is making a culture roll with a difficulty of 5. They're rolling a d20 and a d6. Wow! So, you got 2 crits in the first game. Wait, so this is a critical failure.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Pandora looks at V pretty hard for a sec, like they're trying to like recognize something about them or notice something specific. And at the moment they look like they're getting close, their head starts pounding and they drop their flask and drop down to one knee as they kind of groan in pain. It lasts a few seconds before they finally get back up and dust themselves off. Alright, sorry, I'm dying. They say as they put their hand on their face and wipe it off. You see
I was gonna render first aid to this guy earlier, and before I didn't realize that he was an entirely separate person. Can I try to do that while he's complaining about dying?
Yeah, he's gonna sit on the ground, just like let you poke around at his head as you try to do a first aid on him. A very big brother type of like, all right, whatever. And he's going to like kind of look at all of you and Wade as they're doing the first aid. You all seem to have a very big misconception of what I am and what you are now. We're not villains. We're not criminals. We're not going to go around killing people. We are Power Rangers.
As I'm like patting him down and looking him all over to see if he's like seriously wounded and stuff like that, and I'm getting all up in his business and personal space, can I tell if this guy is any different than other than just like a regular motherfucking guy? Is he hiding like any sort of crazy stuff, like an extra limb or like a cyborg guy or a gun?
Well, you see the gun that's on his hip. It's the same white gun that he was using earlier. But otherwise you don't. Oh, well, you know what? Give me a infiltration roll.
Infiltration. Okay.
Or do you want to make it alertness?
No, I suck at both equally.
Your difficulty is a 6.
I am going to use a story point and re-roll that. 14 on a d20.
You give Bandora a nice good ocular pat down, and you notice that the Renaissance mask they're wearing is kind of glowing underneath just a tiny bit, but not enough that it would be visible to anyone who wouldn't be like looking at it that intently. Besides that, you don't notice anything too unusual. There's a badge on, not badge, but a sort of like identifying pin on their left side, on their red vest. And it's the same symbol that was on their costume earlier.
So as far as I can tell, regular dude though, aside from some sort of glow behind the mask.
Yeah, regular dude. And as you determine that for yourself, you noticed his whiskey flask float past your face, being held by nothing, and into his hand. And he takes a swig. And he takes a swig.
I am going to, as soon as he puts it down, I'm going to get like a rag or something sterile and then grab the whiskey flask and then douse the sterile thing and then kind of like start to dab it on his cuts. But when I set the flask down, I want to set it down behind me such that I am physically between him and the flask.
You do that, and in response, he's going to make another roll. Difficulty of 16. Oh wait, it's a crit! Another crit! Okay, so... Wait, no, that's not a crit, because that's a 14 on the d20. Alright. So, you do with the rag and the alcohol and start dabbing at his wounds, and he winces a bit, and without missing a beat, he goes for another shot of his flask, and it is already back in his hand.
Did I see it move, or did it just appear there?
Give me a quick flat d20.
7. I need to retire this one. It's been doing shit for me all night.
You did not see anything, but you definitely do see Bandora put it down without touching it. He
Okay.
is holding the flask in his hand for one moment, taking a shot, lets it go in midair, and it floats down back on the floor away from him.
I want to take that and run with it so badly. But I contain myself momentarily because I'm still looking over this guy to see if he's seriously wounded. And is he in any way seriously wounded?
No, not seriously, but he is going to make an alertness check to to notice you noticing his flask. Let me set that difficulty, but I didn't. Right. He notices you eyeing up his flask, and he zips it back to his hand. It's not the flask, it's me. I'm telekinetic.
I think because I've already got this thought process locked in. I don't know what telekinetic means. I think it's a racial slur. And I kind of give him another, like, a real nasty side eye, and I keep going back to dabbing his wounds with alcohol. Be like,
Why does everyone think I'm an asshole today? What's going on? Alright, you kids, names, please? We haven't done names. My name is Bandora, and, I don't remember my last name anymore. And I have been a Power Ranger for 23 years, I think. And he gestures broadly as he leans back, slowly becoming more drunk. Who's next?
Lamar looks up from the morpher and goes, "Hi, Lamar Martin. Pink, dark pink, apparently."
He looks over at you and kind of looks you up and down. Rouge. and he looks to his left again
Brooch.
and looks at Wade, who's immediately next to him. Celadon looks at V. Why the fuck do they give them shades if they all look the same? Charcoal, obsidian, and he looks at Tyrion last. Mauve. All right.
That's a funny way to say alcoholic.
When he looks at me and says Celadon, I throw up the blood symbol. He was Bloods, right? That's what he said.
In response to Tyrion, Bendora's gonna wave their hand, and Tyrion feels a small wave of energy pass over their head as their hat is knocked off.
And you can't aim. Jesus Christ.
That's what I was aiming for!
Someone needs to go to
I
AA.
Gabby was cut a little bit harder with the alcohol for yelling at the 9-year-old.
You guys are in my house. What are your names?
Tyrion, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Tyrion. Again.
Vesper's going to look to him, and then they don't believe the words he was saying about Power Rangers not being a criminal, like not being a criminal organization. So if there's like is there any sort of rule to kind of like look him over or them over?
You want to do an insight?
Maybe. Yes, an insight.
Go ahead and give me an insight with a difficulty of 4.
3 on the 20, 5 on the 6, and 1 on the 4. And I haven't flipped my coin yet.
When you roll with specializations, you take the highest number of you take the highest one skill. Any one blah, blah, blah. You take the highest skill die along with your d20. So you roll all your skill dice under it with your proficiency, but you only take the highest skill die.
Oh, okay.
So
So
you
yeah,
roll
then so
2 d4 d6, but like if the d4 is 4 and the 6 is 2 and the 2 is 2, you take that 4.
I know it was my 6 and my 20 that were my 2 highest. I went to re-roll it, so I don't remember the numbers, but it wasn't that high.
It wasn't a 4.
But I believe it did. Yeah.
So, what information are you looking to insight from this person right now?
They don't. They're giving him the same energy Wade is giving him. Like they're kind of just like, they're not mean mugging him, but they're not friendly. They don't trust him completely because they've been told everything. Well, they've been told the opposite. So I guess they're looking for like a semblance of truth or sincerity or like something that doesn't seem like, oh, this guy is obviously lying. This guy has obviously practiced this before.
Give me one more flat d20 roll.
That's a 2. Okay. I might ask to do a story point if y'all are okay with it, but I think
We're almost done,
we're
so
down to
Yeah, go for it.
Good.
13.
Hey.
Nice. All right. So you look this man up and down as he sits in a growing drunken stupor as Wade works on him. And the thing that stands out to you the most is the look of wear in his eyes. It's almost the same look that Mick had on the bus a couple of days ago when he looked like he was being called back to war. It looks like this man has never left war. It looks like he has not had a moment of rest that was not met with difficulty or danger.
Oh, so they would understand this look.
You can't fully determine if he is lying or not yet because of the way they speak so matter-of-factly with everything they say. But you can see this as a tortured, pained, war-torn soul.
Oh, well, so V doesn't believe him at all. Then V's gonna look to him and just go, "My name is Vesper Salacia. Thank you for your hospitality, if one would call it that."
Bandora's going to look up at V and Vesper as they say their full name. He's going to stand up, patting Wade on the shoulder, thanks, and take a few steps towards Vesper, his hands up to show he's not approaching with any type of intent. Do you say Vesper Salacia?
How do I feel about hearing that? Do I want to roll on that? Because Gabby doesn't like that.
What would you want to roll for?
Vesper will want to, like, what is the tone of voice?
Very calm and questioning. A little more calm than his drunken demeanor would have you expect.
They're simply gonna nod their head and go, "Yes, you may call me V."
He's gonna nod his head and look down at you. I heard the ones that try to escape usually die. Good shit. Didn't die.
I hope the same for my sibling, but thank you.
He's gonna look down at the ground for a second and look sad. You too? He's gonna step away from you and into the center of the room in between everybody. And he's going to kind of spin around in a circle again and look at everyone, getting a good view of you all. And he's going to nod to himself and look at the ground. You all have a very big decision to make. You can either sit down with me and learn a lot of lore in a couple hours, or give up those powers and go back to having a life that will not get you killed. And as he says those words,
Lamar was sat down.
as he says those words, he's going to look at you all very solemnly. V, you don't even need to make an insight to realize that these are genuine words of warning coming from this man.
The second Lamar heard lore, his butt was in a seat.
I think V is going to sit next to Lamar and look to Lamar and go, "It is a life I have only known. There's no difference here besides new powers."
Right, that's two. What about you, Doctor and Train Kid?
I am looking for something real quick. Hold on.
Tyrion's intrigued. So I'll sit behind everyone. Or maybe I'll stand, because if I sit, you probably won't be able to see me.
Okay, so
You
I
can do-
rolled for it. Wade is going to have an unexpected and rare moment of cooperation where he sits and listens.
All right. All right. I'll tell you a little story about the Power Rangers. And as the camera zooms outward and out a window and looks over the ship floating in the sky, you all begin to gather this, not gather, but to the story that Bandora tells you about a history of the thing you are now joining. We will cut off air. Thank you for listening to
yeah.
Roll 4D4. Today's episode has been great as we have finally come to having our powers. You have a bit of a mystery going on all around the place of missing fathers and unfinished projects. and now a strange man that might be looking for our rangers. So, from Roll4D4, thank you for listening to The Power Rangers, Episode 2, Session 2. We look forward to seeing you next time here. Subscribe, like, share, go drink some water.